Hey, if you're in the doorway and you're talking, we need you to stop. Shh. If you're just walking in right now, you guys can come on in and grab a seat. If you need seats, there are a lot of seats upstairs. There are stairs right behind the stage. There's 2 doors behind me. There's a staircase right behind here. You can't see it. You want to go up and grab those seats while you can, because we're kicking this thing off like right now. Speakers, we're going to pull you up in just a minute, so you don't have to go upstairs, but definitely send your teams upstairs. Sponsors, you might want to line up at the front of the room, because we're going to bring you up right now. Hey, Dave, can you have your crew move the speaker a little bit? Because every time I walk by it, it's giving a lot of feedback, and I can't stand still. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Masterclass Orlando. How many of you guys have ever been here before? Make some noise. Welcome back. How many of you is this your first time? Just raise your hand and say, oh yeah. Thanks for coming. So here's what we do. We do this on the 3rd Thursday. Which Thursday? The 3rd Thursday of every month, January through November. So this is the last Masterclass Orlando session of the year. So can we give a round of applause to all the sponsors, the speakers, all the people who have been a part of it, and to Harry Buffalo. They've hosted probably like 34, 35 of 38 sessions, something like that. So the best way you can say thank you is to stick around and buy some lunch. Like seriously, it would help a ton. If you can't stick around because you've got stuff to do, you don't have to, but it would be really helpful if you'd leave some cash on the bar. Just tip the bartenders. I know it sounds crazy, but it would be like really nice if they could like actually profit from all the people that are here that aren't staying for lunch. Nobody has to. We're doing a good job. But when people walk in right at 11 and they're like, oh shit, this place is full, some of them walk out. So it really helps if like they get something for that, if that makes sense. So I just figured I'd mention that. And if you want to stick around and join us, it's going to be a lot of fun. Wayne's going to be sticking around. Some of the panelists will be sticking around. I'll be sticking around. It's the last masterclass of the year. So hopefully you'll stick around, network, grab some food. They got really good food here. How many of you guys have had their food here and had some delicious food? Make some noise. The Bang Bang Shrimp, just a little tip. All right, so thank you guys for coming all year. This is all put on by real producers, Orlando real producers. And what's cool about it is basically we run a group only for the top 500 agents in the market, and this masterclass serves as a bridge so that they're teaching what they do to any real estate agent that's hungry and wants to learn. So we're in 109 markets as real producers, and Orlando is the only one that runs an event to make sure everyone can actually learn from the top agents. Is that pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. Make some noise if you think that's cool. So this is our 39th session, which means we've done 39 more events than any real producers franchise in the country. And the whole thing's put on by our partners. So we have about 80 advertising partners. They represent the best of the best. They're all literally referred by top 500 agents. They're all vetted, and they all commit to like not just sponsor an event. When you go to a happy hour and someone spent a few $100 or $1,000, that's easy. These people commit to supporting us for 2 to 4 years straight, and they pay every single month. So it's a lot of money because they want to build relationships with you guys, and they're the best of the best. Can y'all give a round of, really quick actually, if you're one of our advertising partners, any of our advertising partners, just raise your hand really tall, really high, and let's give a giant round of applause and make some noise for all the people that support this thing. Find those people afterwards. I promise you want them in your network. We've got a bunch of companies that stepped up today to make this masterclass happen, to help bring Wayne here, to help like all the video and all this stuff. If you're watching on Zoom, you should definitely thank the sponsors. Make sure to follow them on Facebook. But I'm going to bring up a handful of them up to speak for just a minute, tell you who they are. It's not long enough to explain what they do. But can everybody here like at least try to follow the sponsors, snapshot them, whatever you got to do. They're all running up here. In fact, there's confetti, so you won't even forget them. But anyway, let's give a round of applause to our sponsors. Let's bring them all up. They all got a minute to tell you about themselves. We're going to start with Steve Bell from HBI, from Harding Bell International. Y'all definitely need to know this guy.
Great. I'm a partner with Harding Bell International. That sounds weird. We are a CPA firm, and we specialize kind of in anything, property related, whether it be FERPTA, working with real estate agents, helping your investors, foreign investors specifically is really what we do. Tax filing, setting up entities, all that good stuff for what sets us apart. One, we're here. We want to have a relationship with you. We want to help you. We're also, and two, we're responsive. You can get a hold of us And if you want my contact details, I'll even give you my cell phone number. So if you can't get one of our team, I'm there for you. One last thing, se habla español.
All right, let's give her a round of applause. It's Veranda Properties. Next up, we got Garrett with RTR Title.
Good morning. Good morning. Garrett Mitchell with RTR Title. I do biz dev. RTR Title is attorney owned and operated. So long story short, if you have anything that's tied up on the legal side, we can get it done faster. Anything with probate, any of that. You all know what title is. Title's boring, but we are not. So we like to do fun things to help you from getting the listing to getting it closed as fast as possible, helping you with your open house. So I'm open to anything. We love doing fun new ideas. So please connect with me and let's get it going.
Good morning. My name is Jody with Celebration Title Group. And yes, thank you. I love that. We are your favorite title company. You guys know what a title company do. We do real estate closings, but we believe in providing a magical, memorable experience for every single one of your clients. So we choose a word of the month every month at Celebration. Our word this month is abundance. So in the spirit of abundance, we just want to say thank you. We've had an incredible year, and we could not do that without each and every one of you. So thank you for being our partner. Thank you for your support. We're excited to get into 2022. Make sure you follow us on social for all of our classes, events, and we can't wait to celebrate with you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Jeff Velez with Old Republic Home Protection. I have props today. So this is our brochure if you've never seen it before in your office. And remember us before, during, or after your transaction for your buyers. So if you've ever used us, you get there's 3 service cards up on this page. You get a little postcard in your mailbox, or you get it via email. And there's a claim on here for $6,006 that we paid on an HVAC claim, which means we probably replaced their system. And on the back page, if you've ever known like Frank A Services, I'm giving them a little free advertising. They've been around Orlando for like 40 years. Got a fresh quote from a homeowner on a new system for $8,500. So we paid a $6,000 claim, replaced the system. The homeowner paid about $600 out of pocket. What's better, $600 out of pocket or $8,500, right? So just remember us before, during, or after the transaction. We do have monthly payment plans for your buyers if there's no warranty on the transaction. So again, Old Republic Home Protection, shout out to Cameron Foster in the back and Sabrina Serrano, who's not here today. Thank you.
How's everybody doing today? All right, that was kind of weak. How's everybody doing today? All right, I'm Ryan Plaza with Home First Lending. I'm your account executive over there. Over the last year, we have really focused on conversion. So we built one of the state-of-the-art ISA departments. We're over 7 full-time ISA department that are designed to call your leads. So if you're a company that's looking to partner with a mortgage company that's looking to convert at a high level going into 2022, give me a call. I'll be around. I'll be around for lunch, hanging out. I'm Ryan Plaza. See you guys soon.
All right, let's keep this thing going. We got Heather Hurry now.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday and happy Masterclass. Just a quick question. I have such a loud mouth anyway. I'm so sorry. Every time I come, I'm like, hi. Anyone in the room know the name Pillar to Post? If you do, can you raise your hand? That's so amazing, you guys. In preparation next week of Thanksgiving, this makes my heart full, right? So pillar to post to Jeff McEntee, my name is Heather, and we do home inspections. Guess what else we do? Commercial inspections. I see tons of things going on right now in the commercial sector. Things are growing, things are moving. There's all types of creativity going on right now in the market, right? So we want to hold your hand and we want to be there with you as you go through these changes. Last but not least, just a friendly reminder, if you have a 3-day, a 5-day, a 7-day, whatever those days are in your contract for your inspection, we got you, okay? Everybody had a great masterclass. I'll be around too, like Ryan, and we'll feed you some lunch, all right? See ya.
All right.
Hello, good morning. Wow, my voice sounds so loud.
That's how you speak into a mic.
Right here. So my name is Vic DeVore. I own and operate DeVore Design. We do photos, video, and home staging. Home staging. Yes, we do home staging. I've had so many people tell me, oh, I didn't know DeVore Design did home staging. We've done over 50 vacant stages so far this year. I hope we've shot over 14,000 properties since we started. I want you guys to think of DeVore Design for home staging in addition to listing media. So I want to take a quick selfie with you guys. I do this every time at every masterclass. And I want you guys to cheer for yourselves for kicking the shit out of Zillow. Cool.
That didn't work. All right. By the way, one of our sponsors is not able to be here today, but he is a phenomenal lender. Like, for those of you that want someone that really knows how to give value and teach you how to do cool shit in your business, let's give a 1, 2, 3 clap for Jason Purcell, one of the co-owners of Certified Mortgage Planners who couldn't make it today. 1, 2, 3. Also, we're just going to give a quick shout out to some of our supporting sponsors for the day. We've got Shay Walker with Shay Walker Photo, who's one of the best branding photographers in town. She's here somewhere. And then we've also got Jocelyn. Jocelyn's at the front with Jocelyn Espejo Photography. Let's give her a round of applause. She's also a great branding photographer. We've got Todd Perkowski with Janney Roofing. They're phenomenal roofers. They just did my roof last year. He's awesome. Make sure you meet him. Let's give him a 1, 2, 3. Or I guess give him a round of applause. He's here. But Tammy Birchler with HWA. Let's give her a 1, 2, 3. And and Leslie Rodriguez. Where's Leslie? There she is. Leslie was selling shots. She does amazing listing photography. Her and her team are great. Make sure you check them out. Let's give her a round of applause as well. Last but not least, we've got one other sponsor that can't be here. That's Carly Stinson. She's going through a lot of medical challenges, but she's doing an amazing job with Full Circle Insurance, working from home right now and remotely. So let's give her a 1, 2, 3. And then I think that is everybody. And hopefully if I skip somebody, they'll pop up at some point, and I'll be like, oh, shit. I'll name them too. So, by the way, can we give one more round of applause to Vic DeVore for supplying the coffee? Every single month. That's not even a sponsorship. Vic was like, can I just buy everybody coffee and give them branded cups? And I said, that'd be awesome. So, all right. Oh, and last but certainly not least, they definitely need more than just a round of applause, but Dave Stewart and his team with D Stewart Productions, they're the ones running around. They've got 4 different cameras. They've been doing all the master classes. If you've ever watched a recap, if you're on the Zoom right now, the quality of the video and production is like second to none. You're going to want to meet Dave Stewart with Dave Stewart Productions. Dave, just raise your hand real quick. Let's give him a round of applause. They do some really cool stuff. Like, you'll hear him running around like Panda Camera 2, and they're like talking on the microphone. It's pretty cool. Feels like Hollywood. So anyway, we're going to kick this thing off. We've got six NAR 30 under 30 winners right now. 5 of them from Orlando. 1 is a guest speaker. That's Wayne Salmans. Can we give it up for Wayne Salmans coming all the way from Dallas? So to tell you a little bit about Wayne, I'll just be honest. He's my personal business coach. He coaches me, and he coaches the guy that runs Dallas Real Producers. He's a big sponsor of Dallas Real Producers. I know he coaches Amanda and her team at Celebration Title. And he's coached a few agents too. He's coached, I don't know, about 6,000 real estate agents. Can I say that one more time? Wayne has coached 6,000 real estate agents. So he knows his stuff. Wayne's mission is to empower people to be all they can and to help them transform their lives fast. He's the author of the book, The Art of Getting Back Up. You probably should pull out your phone and buy it on Amazon, just throwing that out there. He's been called the empowerment coach, the entrepreneur's mentalist, the heart coach, an extreme results guy, an epic strategist, but at the end of the day, his favorite title is dad. When he's not writing, coaching, or speaking, you'll find him rolling around the floor, playing Legos with his 5 kids, laughing with his wife. His passion is to empower people and to empower you to live actively and participate their own transformation and success to, quote, be your own hero. That's why his company is called Hero Nation Coaching. And he also is a NAR 30 under 30 winner, so I think that's pretty badass. But let's just give a giant round of applause to Wayne Salmans. He's going to speak in a second. He's going to moderate, and you're going to feel like you just chugged 3 espressos. So here all the way from Dallas, let's make some noise one more time for Wayne Salmans. I don't know. Who took all the microphones?
I just yelled. All right, you ready to go? Say yes! Yes! Woo! All right, I've been in Orlando for 4 days, and I may not leave. I've had some fun. All right, did we have a crazy last 2 years? Yes. Woo! You survived some stuff, yes? Right? Like we had, how many of you survived COVID? You survived Tiger King? I know we don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I didn't watch it. I did. Right. Hey, who knew you could get a tiger for $2,000, by the way? That was my biggest shock in the whole show. All right, you also survived like that boat in the canal. I really felt like that brought us all together. You know what I mean? I was stuck for like a week and a half. You know, there's one little digger. Anyway, it's been a weird year, yes? So you survived all that stuff out there. You also just survived some stuff in here. Was it a mentally tough year, yes or yes? I'll tell you what, there is a lot for entrepreneurs and business owners to deal with, agreed? When you look at our mental health or lack of, can we get real for a second? Is it okay if I get really real for a second up in this room? Yes? There are some people we lost in the last couple of years, and it breaks my heart. Are you right? Especially due to mental health. And I'll tell you what, there's some people that probably are in this room that won that battle, and there's some people that are probably not in this room because they didn't win that battle, yes? Here's what I know about you in this room. You are tougher than you think you were, agreed? Right? Do you realize that you're pretty tough? You realize that in the last couple of years, yes? I think in the last couple of years we learned 3 really big lessons. One is you're tougher than you thought you were. You're more resourceful than you thought you were. You also learned that problems brought a lot of opportunity, yes? Right? Do you know agents that are waiting for things to get back to normal? Right? I can't tell you how many people I talk to. They're like, hey, when it gets back to normal, then I'm going to get after it. And I'm like, bro, normal. First off, normal wasn't that great in the first place, yes? Right? Second off, there is no normal coming back, agree? Like, we got to get a new normal, right? So you pivoted, you found opportunities, and you tackled some big problems, and that's where a lot of opportunity lied, yes? That's good. You should be proud of that. You also learned, hopefully, I know I was joking about this yesterday, I'm a terrible inspirational speaker because I believe that wasn't your last crisis. I know I'm bad at this. I get no woohoos, right? That wasn't your last crisis. What we know is in this country, every 8, 10, 12 years, something happens, agreed? Right? If you've been around, how many of you remember 2007 and 8? Like 4 of us probably, because we're old, right? Hey, we never revealed what year we got 30 under 30, right? Like that's the Scouts motto among the 30 under 30. It's like what? Nobody asked what year, right? It's just it happened. It was awesome. It was super recent.
I might give y'all a hint.
Right, way more recent.
All of them have been at least 7 years.
Yeah, it's been maybe 3, right? But here's what I know. This wasn't your last crisis, and there's going to be more. But you survived a lot of stuff, and you didn't come this far to just come this far. Agreed? Agreed? So is it okay with you if I give you a couple decisions to make to help this next year be the best year of your life? Is that all right? I'm as I tell Jody all the time, I'm not here to inspire you. I'm here to empower you with some stuff. Because inspiration wears off the moment you hit that door. Empowerment, that's yours, and you can go use it anywhere. Sound good? Okay. Here, thank you for the one woo from the corner. Tough crowd. All right, here's what I know. Yeah, you're welcome. Here's what we don't talk about.
And we do this every single month.
I know. Yeah. Here's what we don't talk about very often. I got 30 under 30 years ago, and it was amazing, right? I was on top of the world. I looked so good on the outside, right? On the outside, I was the dad with the 3.2 kids, and I was making money. I was involved in my community. Everything was working really well in a sense on the outside, but inside things were in turmoil. Have you ever had that happen? Right, it looks good on the outside, inside was not working out. The year after I won 30 under 30 was probably one of the most brutal years of my life, to the point where I lost everything and was moments away from taking my own life. We don't talk about that when we read the bios, though, do we? I hear the bio and I'm like, that guy sounds awesome. Who is that? Because it leaves out all the crap along the way, agreed? So is it okay if I give you some things that will empower you to fight the battle that I know you're fighting on a daily basis, right? What I know is most people are fighting a battle that nobody else knows about, right? I bet every single one of you in here, you got something you're fighting against. And you still showed up, and you smile, and you played the part, and you go and you take care of your families. But I'm here because I want you to take care of you at an even higher level. Is that all right? Are you cool with that? Okay, all right. Here's the three things. Here's the first one. First decision is, how are you going to look at this year? First decision is, you didn't come this far to just come this far. And what I realized is, this year you're going to have some challenges. Agreed? Is there going to be some challenges the next 13 months? Always. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. Who are you going to be? Who are you going to be? I bet, by another question, I would say it this way. This time next year, what do you want to be most proud of? What are the one or two things you want to be proud of this time next year? What are those? I bet it's not, I just had another year like last year. That's probably not it, correct? What would it be? It's probably going to be, we had a big challenge and we figured it out, right? Right, I lost 6 deals at a time. You never lose 1 deal at a time, by the way. I don't know if you've been in real estate for a minute, it's like good, 6, right? It's never just one, right? You agree with me, right? It's like, yay, good, and then like 20 at a time. I don't know why it works that way. It's the universe. I don't get it, right? But the first decision you got to make is you're tougher than you think you are, and treat yourself that way, right? Okay, here's the second decision. The second decision you got to make is, are you going to be, we talked about this a couple days ago, are you going to be limited by your resources, or are you going to be wildly resourceful? Most businesses fail, not because they lack resources, but because they lack resourcefulness. Agreed? Right? You look around the room and you ask all these people that have done such amazing things, and no one in this room, I believe, will tell you, it was so easy. Like, I just woke up one day on the top of Success Mountain, and I've just sat there ever since. Right? No, what do they tell you? Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's just super easy, right? No, what they tell you was, we didn't have enough money, we figured it out, right? My whole team quit on a Thursday, and I had to start all over again, right? They got wildly resourceful, though, yes? So let me give you 3 questions. There are some amazing people. When we talk about the great resignation going on in the country right now, I call it the great freaking opportunity, okay? Right? All these brilliant, amazing people that used to drive an hour and a half back and work all the time are now available to us to hire from anywhere. Are you with me? So here's what I want you to think. I want you to stop. The second decision is stop asking how and start asking who. One of the things I know about you in this room is you are amazing people, and you always ask how because you take a lot of responsibility and you're willing to do the hard work. The problem is always asking how means it's like it's you. I was on the phone with one of my coaches one time, and I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And he goes, Wayne, last thing your business needs is more you. And he was super right. Right? So I want you to start asking who. Here's a couple great questions. You might want to write these down. Who would love to work on this? When you talk about doing a budget, it is not me. Right? But I get asked, who would love? I have a great gal named Estella. She loves working with numbers and budgets, and God bless her heart, because I don't, right? So first question is, who would love to work on this? Who would love to tackle this project? Who would love to figure this out? Second question is, who has the resources I need? Who already has an abundance of the resource that I need? Great question to ask yourself, right? And the third question is, who has already done what I want to do? It's amazing how, let me say it this way, for so many of you, trial and error is the dumbest way to learn if you can avoid it. Right? You're going to have enough trial and error as it is, but if you can avoid some trial and error, that's a beautiful thing. Agreed? Right? And I bet a lot of people, how many of you in here have had some errors? Okay, and then there's the honest ones. Perfect. Love it. Like both hands and a foot in the air. Amen. All right. So you can learn from them and jump off, right? So the 3 decisions are this, right? First decision is decide what you want, what you're going to be proud of. Second decision, decide to be more resourceful than limited by resources. And your third decision is who, not how. Agreed? Can I get a heck yes? Yes. All right. Can I give you one more bonus decision? Okay. The 2 of you, would you meet me later? I'll give you that one. That'll be good. All right. Can I give you one more? Say yes. Oh, good. I didn't fly all the way here from Dallas to not have a hell yes. All right. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Can I can probably. I mean, you all hang out with Aaron. I can probably curse all day long. Yes, okay. All right, we're good. All right. So here's the third decision. The third decision is, and I shared this with a couple of y'all on Tuesday. You have a lot that you have to do on a weekly basis. Agreed? We have to take the kids to school. We have to deal with all the other stuff. We have to deal with buyers and sellers who are nuts, by the way. Right, y'all chose to work with crazy people, okay? And I chose to work with crazy people, right? We're all crazy, right? But you did, right? I'm not saying it's easy. So here's what I want you to consider. What do you have to do versus, let me give you this. And hopefully I got a minute. Let me give you this. Years ago, I'd been teaching Bold for Keller Williams all over the country, which was awesome. And yet I was in a different city every day, getting 0 sleep most weeks. And one week I got home on a Thursday night, late on a Thursday night. It was 2 a.m. in the morning, something like that. And I finally get to bed. And how awesome is that home bed, by the way? If you've been on the road for a week or two, that home bed is amazing, right? I finally get in that home bed. It feels incredible, right? I finally lay down. And at the time, my daughter's about 1.5 years old, and she starts to cry. First thought through my head was not hallelujah, Jesus, okay? First thought through my head was are you kidding me? I've got 5 minutes to sleep, and you're going to screw that up. This is not okay. You know what I mean, right? So fortunately, I had the presence of mind to lay there for one more second. And what hit me like a rushing ocean was remembering a friend of mine. I had a friend named Mitchell, and Mitchell's daughter had passed away from SIDS when she was about 1 year old. And I remember hopefully none of you have gone through that. I can't imagine a more painful experience. And I remember he couldn't even walk on the property. It was so painful. I'm laying in bed, and what hits me is Mitchell would give anything right now to be woken up by his daughter. I don't have to go check on my daughter, I get to. Right? A couple years ago, I went and picked up my son from school, and he goes, Dad, why are you picking me up today? Usually Mom does. And I was like, oh, dude, sorry. Mom got busy, and she's doing this and this, and I had to come pick you up. He goes, sorry, Dad. I didn't have to go pick my son up. I got to. Are you with me? Right? How many people go, what's it like to get to go pick your son up? What's it like to get to have kids? Here's what I want you to consider. The fourth decision I want you to think about for this next year is not what do you have to do, what do you get to do? Right? We go, oh, I got to make calls. You get to. Right? The stuff we complain about is where somebody else is trying to get to, yes? We go, oh, my car broke down. They go, what's it like to be able to have a car? Right? We go, oh, I got to pick my kid up from school. They go, what's it like to be able to have kids? This next year, I want you to consider what's it like to get to do the things that you have to do. Are you with me? Okay. All right, you ready to listen to the most brilliant panel you've ever heard in your entire life? Yeah. Hey, this dude is a magician. The fact that you got all these people together is magical. Most of us haven't seen each other for a decade, and this is a pretty cool thing to get them all together. So, Aaron, do you want to introduce them and bring them to the stage?
Let's do this thing.
Let's do it. All right, give them one round. Go.
I'm gonna call them all up. We're gonna do just a giant rolling round of applause once we finish them all, if that's cool with you, just to make this thing a little bit faster. But they all deserve all the applause. We'll clap for them even more at the end. So we'll start with Andrey Bustamante, is the president and CEO of Busamante Real Estate Team, or Busamante Real Estate, where he leads the Andrey Bustamante team. Sorry, that's a tongue twister for some reason. His goal in life was to become a professional soccer player. In 2005, he was training professionally with a team in Colombia. At age 20, he decided to get into real estate to provide a better quality of life for his parents, with the ultimate goal of retiring both of them. 6 months into the business, Andrey and their family had not sold a single home. But they trusted the process. So now, to this day, they've served over 3,000 people. He didn't put this in his bio, but I know his team sold over $50 million last year, and he is also a former NAR 30 under 30 winner. Like I said, all of them, it's been at least 7 years, but he might be one of the youngest people on this panel. I'm just going to guess. I don't actually know how old he is or how old anyone is, but I know that they won, and it's been a little bit, so they're all in their 30s or more. Let's give a giant round of applause for Andrey Bustamante. Woo! All right, Jan-Nov is the broker owner of Folio Real Estate. She has 100+ experienced agents. She's also the broker owner of Orange Management, its property management division. She's a broker owner of Orange Commercial division. She's a part owner of her Central Florida title company, the O Steele Law Firm. So she knows all ins and outs of the real estate business. 2020, she sold about $11 million. Last year, she sold about $13 million, but her office sold $165 million. So she's crushing it. Can I get it? That's hot. Or a round of applause. That works. Let's give a giant round of applause to Jan-Nov. Tara Moore. Having grown up in New York with a father in real estate, Tara is no stranger to the business. Alongside her husband, Matt, Tara has built a successful real estate company in Orlando without assistants, team members, or other agents. She's passionate about inspiring her fellow agents to break the mold of what their business should be and to consider there just isn't one way to define success. She's a 2015 30 under 30 winner and the proud mom of her son. That makes more sense. Grayson and her daughter, Lady June. Tara, if you don't mind me asking, what did you sell last year? About. Selling over $22 million last year. Let's give a giant round of applause to Tara Moore. Ken Pozek. Hold on one second. He's got a really good bio, and I got to make sure I read it right. Can I just say, okay, last year, now Ken moved from Detroit, not last year, but he moved from Detroit after selling homes for 8 years. He picked up and started completely from scratch here in Orlando in, get this, 2016. How many of you have sold real estate for longer than since 2016 here? Raise your hand. All right, half of you. He's been a Keller Williams Maps coach, a Realtor magazine's 30 under 30 winner. He's quickly become one of the top agents in Orlando, focuses on video marketing. Make sure you follow his YouTube channel, agent referrals, and database. He gets a ton of business from other agents out of the area because he farms and markets to them in the agent database, which is a golden nugget in and of itself in their bios, if you caught that. Last year, he sold 2020, he sold $73 million. That is last year. But this year, his team's already at $124 million year to date. Woo. Can we give a giant round of applause to Ken Pozek?
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, the man Carlos German is a broker associate, team leader with eXp Realty. He leads a group of over 1,900 expert advisors throughout the U.S. and multiple other countries. Carlos is regarded as a team leader and innovator in the real estate community. Some of his accomplishments include becoming a best-selling author. Forbes magazine called him the ninja of real estate. He's been NAR's 30 under 30. He is originally from the Dominican Republic. He migrated to the U.S. at the age of 15, so he cherishes every little resource and opportunity available, gave his best to make sure he could become a success. In his spare time, he enjoys water sports, spending time with his wife, Rosemary, who's probably here or watching on Zoom, his son, Hector, and reading about amazing companies and entrepreneurs who've changed the way we live today. Let's give a giant round of applause to Carlos German. Make an autoresponder. But anyway, you'll also see a link to download the magazine. You'll see a few things on there, so just scan the QR codes. Otherwise, let's give a giant round of applause to our panelists and to Wayne. Woo! Let's get this thing off. Go ahead, man.
I love that guy. All right. So we could be here for like 18 hours. Easily. So you guys are going to have to give like concise answers, kick button, move it down the line. Sound good? All right. Let's start with our man, the myth, the legend. How'd you get in the business? How'd you get started? And what does it look like right now? I mean, he gave most of it, but size of team, whatever. Go.
Yeah, let's roll. So at like 18 years old, I bought my first investment property, and then the market fell apart in Detroit. And so it was like, I should probably go get like a real job, right? And instead I got into real estate sales. And so I built a small real estate team in Detroit, moved here in 2016. Now we have an amazing team. Some of you guys are here. Thank you for coming. And this year we'll round out right about $130 million. That's us.
It's awesome. Woo. All right, so let's not clap ever until the very end and we'll freak out. So we keep going quiet. So
So, like my bio said, I grew up with a father in real estate. My dad was actually one of the first RE/MAX brokerages in New York State, so this is all I knew. When I moved here in 2004, I started working in real estate. And now that it is my husband and I, just like my bio said, in 2015 is when he joined me. In 2017, we kind of reached another crossroad, which I can talk about later, but should we continue to grow and expand and hire? And it was kind of at that point that I decided that, no, I really do enjoy selling. I still enjoy being hands-on with clients, and this is really all I ever want to do. So made a very intentional decision at that time to just keep the brokerage small with just the two of us.
Woo, love it.
Oh, there we go. Hi, everybody. So let's see. I just learned some things about Tara I didn't know, but my father was also in real estate. He was a real estate developer. And after I graduated from college, I came home and said, what do I do now, Dad? He's like, go get your real estate license. So I did that in 2004. Opened up our first office in 2007 with right before the best time in real estate with 2 agents, and quickly grew that to where we are now with 3 locations, right under 100 agents, and a lot of them are sitting here today and have grown into some very special friends of mine.
Love it. Good.
Hey guys, Andrey Bustamante. First and foremost, thank you to Aaron. Where's Aaron? Right. Thank you for having us wherever you're at. He's a little short. But,
hey, whoa, jeez.
Just kidding. No, I used to play soccer with Aaron way back in the day, FC America. So got started in real estate in 2005. My life just kind of was at a crossroads. There's Aaron. Life was at a crossroads. It was like, do I continue to pursue this professional soccer career dream, or do I do something that's a little bit more tangible? And because obviously not everybody makes it in professional sports. So 2005, my dad actually, where's my dad? Thank you, Dad. He paid for my real estate license. I came back from Colombia, dead broke, and started working at Disney. Long story short, 2005, we get in the business. 6 months in, we hadn't sold a single piece of property. So people all the time say, well, but you don't get it. Like, I've been in the business 1, 2, 3 months and I haven't sold it. Like, well, try 6, and then, the recession starts 2007, 2008. So we went through all the downturn, the trials and tribulations of all that stuff, which is amazing because, it's good to know, like, to hit that rock bottom and you can't go any lower. To where we are now, we'll do about $2 million in GCI between our real estate company, our investment company this year. Been in the real estate business now, 16 years, but I feel like we're just getting started. So very happy to be here. Thank you guys for coming.
Love it. Good
Hey,
stuff.
real quick, by the way, I forgot to tell this to the panelists, but make sure that you put that mic right up in your face. Like, that was perfect. But if we can't hear well, it's actually usually because I didn't tell you guys to hold the mics really close to your face. And so they have to turn the speakers up really loud and then down really soft. So when Andrey talks, it's like down really soft, and then someone else will talk far away. So just put the mics near your face. I promise. Eat the mic. It'll sound way better. And the guys will fix the audio if there's ever a problem. Right, guys? All right, sweet.
All right. I'm Carlos German, and I got started in real estate in 2006. Got my license, moved into an empty apartment, and I'm a hard worker. I come from, Dominican Republic, from the worst part of town, so I got to work super hard, gave it my all, pushed super hard, and I sold 3 houses my first year. Okay? So this business is freaking tough, guys, and the second year wasn't so much better. I'm not a rock star overnight. I sold 7 houses my second year, but I wasn't doing one thing. And I want to applaud you guys for being here today, because that's what changed the game for me. So give yourselves a round of applause. I started attending events, coaching and training, and I went from 7 sales to 29 to 50 to 75 to over 100. And then I decided, this is working pretty good, so let me help other people. And I started putting agents in my shoes with the same systems, tools, resources, lead generation that I had to get to where I was at that point. Built my team, started growing, became a 30 under 30. Forbes called me the Ninja Real Estate. Loving it. Everything was going amazing until I realized, there's got to be more out there. So, I decided to look at other opportunities, be open-minded, joined eXp Realty. Again, worked super hard, started slow, but 1,900 agents are now part of my organization, partners that I coach and mentor and help grow. That group, my team in Orlando did 41 million last year. This year we've already done 70 plus million, and we've got, over 90 million under contract, meaning closer under contract. And my organization is going to do over 10,000 transactions nationwide. So that's my journey.
Woo, love it. All right, yeah, give them all around. Woo. Okay, let's start again down here. Here's what I want to know. What worked, how did you get a quick start in the sense of either what worked right off the bat, or if you didn't have a quick start, like you and I, what would you have done differently in that first year? So either what worked right off the bat, or what would you have done different right off the bat?
If I was going to go back, I would focus in more on database and be more consistent with my prospecting, because I was all over the place at the time, not really understand. It's so many different ways that you can get business, but if I was going to go back again, it would be picking one or two things, being massively consistent at it, and not giving up at those things until I was amazing at it. That's what I would do.
Love it. Okay. Here.
Okay, two things that worked, I would say, was that right around the time that we started our real estate business, we, as a couple, my husband and I, committed to, and this is not something we talk about a lot, again, like mental health, but getting our financial house in order. And at that same time that I was really jumping off a cliff and going into real estate, we committed to becoming debt-free and working hard to do that, and we have never looked back. So would encourage you to consider, in our very somewhat unpredictable commission-based business, to consider becoming debt-free and what that might do and free you up to do. The freedom that we have to make decisions in our life is based on that. So that's
okay, that sounds nice. How did you actually do it? Right, can I get an amen? Right, let's cool.
That's a whole hour in itself. But
what are some of the keys to making that happen?
so there's a course, Financial Peace University, that is Dave Ramsey, which love him or hate him based on real estate. Not even going to go there. I choose to focus on the debt-free aspect, but that's hands down the number one thing I would say, that course.
Awesome.
And getting a budget. What is that? Ew, gross.
Yeah, amen. Call Stella. She'll help you. All right, yeah.
We can move on.
So two things that worked. That's
Either what did work right off the bat, or what would you have done different in the beginning?
Okay, so when we opened our first office again in 2007, we leased out, I should say, a large location that required hundreds of thousands of dollars of build out. I can say that I feel like we chased the real estate market in the opposite direction. We were doing things maybe the old school way, but if you had a crystal ball, right? So while there were challenges, we had one agent, that was me, and sitting in that big office with all those cubicles, how am I going to fill this office up? But fortunately, we had some acquisitions along the way, and were able to build the office rather quickly. I would say in 2015 and 2016 is when we had the most growth. And many of those agents that joined the company in 2007 and 2008 are still with us today. So that's 14 years, so we're doing something right. But what I would have done differently is kept the expenses low. But again, if you only had a crystal ball.
Those are all really, really good tips, by the way. Can you guys hear me? Is this better? Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm a big believer that success is something that you attract by the person you become. So when I started in real estate at 20 years old, you can imagine the comfort level or confidence when it came to selling real estate wasn't quite high. I didn't have the gray hairs I do now, so showing up to people's houses, trying to convince them to sell with you, and you're on a really large suit that doesn't really fit you, you're a kid, it doesn't really quite work out. So the thing that did work was, I remember at the time, I went to the office manager, we were working with RE/MAX, and I said, hey, who are your biggest rock stars? Who are the top agents? And they pointed out to a couple of agents, and I noticed one common denominator between all of them. They all had a bunch of letters after their name. So I'm like, okay, so there must be something to this. So I would spend endless nights trying to figure out what all these letters were. ASR, CRS, GRI, all these things. And so my brother and I were working together back then. And so we went on this journey of trying to go to every single class we possibly could. I remember my first designation was the SRES, Senior Real Estate Specialist designation. So I was 20 years old, and I'm trying to sell houses to seniors. Obviously, we were the youngest ones in that room, but we went on this journey. We didn't care. We were like, you know what? We're just going to be humble. We're going to be grateful of the opportunity. We're going to embrace it. And so we went from that one to GRI. We went to CRS. And what's really neat is we've established and made some really, really, really amazing relationships, friendships with people that we still hold to this day based on the first or second class that we took. So the things that worked, depending on where you're at in your business, maybe you need that confidence booster. Go take some classes, right? Go get on an airplane, go across the world, right? Events. Right? Huge. That's actually where I met Carlos, as a matter of fact, was at not in Orlando, right? But at events across the country. So do those things. A thing that I wish I would have done was...
Anybody glad you don't have to fly across the country? You can just come to Harry Buffalo and all the people are on the
There you go. There you go.
Seriously, guys, we did not have this.
All right, you got 5 seconds left on this
5
question.
seconds, become your own best buyer. Thing I wish I would have done back in 2009, 2010 when the market, was really, really low. I wish I would have bought every single one of those houses that we were selling for the banks. So that's what I wish.
Love it.
All right, so one thing I wish
knowing how awesome our start was, what would you have done, knowing what you know now, what would you have done different your first year in real estate? What are the handful of things you would have done?
Well, I probably should have gotten a part-time job. No, never mind. Listen, everybody wanted me to get a part-time job. My wife was cleaning houses to support our household. We started very, very humbly. And it was tough to see her getting home bruised up and me trying to make it as an agent, while she was scrubbing toilets, right? But that's one thing that I would tell you makes me who I am today. I focus on one thing, and I'm very meticulous on accomplishing my goals. A lot of people quit too quickly. It took me 2 years to build some momentum, right? So believe in yourself. That's first thing, number one. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you, because everybody told me I should have gotten a part-time job. I was gonna fail. I was not gonna amount to anything. And I believed in myself, and I kept honing my craft. Okay, so that's one thing that is very, very powerful. The second thing I wish I would have known sooner is you have to seek the best to be the best. A lot of you guys want to be successful in real estate, and you're trying to reinvent the wheel or put a spin on things. Everything we're trying to accomplish, no matter what, has already been figured out by somebody else. So find that person that already did what you're trying to accomplish. Find that person and learn from them. Sit to the smart kid in class. Learn from them, copy, rip off, and duplicate, and then you can innovate later down the road.
Love it. All right, so here's my question. All of you have arrived in a lot of ways. Was there ever a moment you felt like throwing in the towel? Yes. And was there?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're like 24. What was that moment? What was maybe one of the biggest mistakes, and what did you do different from that?
So I think not having a budget, not paying attention to what you're spending, not figuring out if you have an ROI coming back will put you in a really bad place, right? All of a sudden you look up, you have more bills and you have commission checks, and you're like, what am I doing with this? I could go get a job and not have to worry about any of this stuff. And so along the way, until you start slowing down, like Tara said, about figuring out where your P&L's at, getting debt-free, really investing back in your business, and then playing red light, green light in our business, right? Figuring out where is your money going that's actually getting an ROI so that you can get a return. And so until I got that, which was only like 7 years ago, then I was constantly like, is this even for me? Like even 10, 12 years into the business. So
what are your two biggest sources of business now?
Agent referrals and social media, yeah.
Awesome, all right.
I kind of forgot the question.
Biggest mistake or time you wanted to throw in the towel?
I don't know that I ever considered throwing in the towel, but I think that one of the biggest mistakes, especially early on, was we have a really we have a way of overcomplicating this business, I think, and I think I
Yes.
fell victim to that. Just of learning to avoid a complexity trap, I'll call it, in this business has really been the biggest thing, I think, for me. I probably oversimplify, Wayne knows, to a point that, but it works for me. I'm a believer of choose the 2 or 3 things that make you special and unique and successful and focus on those and do those. There are 50 million people and companies and businesses out there. Every trade show we go to has hundreds of booths trying to tell you that you can buy this or that and do more, be more, but it's a lot. It's a lot, So I think that was just the biggest thing for me. Did I answer the question? I don't
You
even know.
totally did. So what are your 2 or 3 biggest sources of business right now?
Referrals, really.
Yeah,
Just that's
awesome.
it. Yep.
I love it. You built an incredible life. Yeah. All right, my friend.
Questions again, please.
Whew, all right. Biggest mistake or time you thought about throwing in the towel?
Okay, so being in this business as long, as we all have, and growing
Short
a real
time.
estate
We're
company.
very young. We're very
right,
young. It's just
41.
Been a
woo!
minute or 2.
I think mistakes happen, right? Especially when you're running a company and you make bad hires, employees don't work out the way they sounded in the interview process, and holding on to those mistakes too long. Worried about what would happen. Oh my gosh, well, if we do this, what will happen? And then not doing anything. And the more confident we got in our company and the more closer we all became as a company with the agents and with our staff, we still made mistakes, but we cut them out sooner. And we were like, whatever happens is gonna happen, and doing that saved us.
Love it.
Big
Good.
time.
Cool.
And there was definitely a time where I wanted to throw in the towel. We had hired several bad employees at one time. And
It comes in like 3s and 4s. I don't know why that is.
like
Yeah.
all at the same time, and it was all bad, and it was real bad. And I just remember going, what in the hell are we doing? I'm not making enough money for this. And but my brother, who's my business partner, is the more, I guess, rational person. And I'm like, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this. Oh my gosh. And we sat at Crest or one of these hotels and just drank all day. Sorry, but we did.
Write that
And we were
down.
like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, well, we started from the bottom before. And I'm like, okay. We did. We cut an office out. We closed it down. We sold the furniture. We fired a bunch of people. And it was the best thing we ever did, honestly. And we didn't really hire very many back. So anyways, that was definitely, there were moments, but luckily, there's not too many of those anymore. So.
I love it. Well, I think it's easy in a room like this to start comparing yourself to others, right? Like you walk in, you see everyone else is doing awesome, right? Everyone in here is on vacation 24/7 according to my Instagram feed, right? All of your lives are perfect, right? So I think a panel like this it's easy to start comparing yourself and really beating yourself up. Man, look what he did in his first year. Look what he did in his 5th year. He's doing a bazillion deals, whatever it is. And I would challenge you to use this as inspiration, but not comparison. Right? Because you're running your own story, right? You got your own stuff. You got your own journey going on. So it's okay to look out the mirrors and go, that's cool. Look at what he's doing. That's freaking amazing, right? Use that as some inspiration, and yet don't get trapped in the comparison because that will steal your joy. Agreed? Right? Because we've all got trapped in that, right? My 11-year-old said to me the other day, he goes, Dad, there's always going to be someone doing better than you. He's dead now. Hey, I have 5 kids. I only wanted 4. One's a spare. No, but I think it's true, right? There's always going to be someone, doing, and that's great, right? Let that be inspiration, not comparison. Okay.
Right,
One big mistake, and what do you got?
I think I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said because I think if I was going to leave you guys with one thing is kind of piggyback off of what you said in terms of inspire, not comparison. Because a lot of times you'll see people on a panel, right? I was once where you're sitting. I was like, man, what's it going to feel like to sell one house, 50 homes, 100, 1,000? What's that going to look like? One day, what's it going to look like, if I'm on a panel? Here's the thing, guys. We may get to the part where we share, like, well, this is what's working, this is what's not working, right? But I would say a mistake that I've made is trying to do all of those things that you hear and you see people doing, right? Huge mistake. That could take you right, to the ground. So I would say remember the reason why you got into real estate. Let that serve as a compass. For many of us, it's our family, right? It's our driving force. It's our why. So just remember the number one reason why you're doing this, right? And another thing is, remember, nobody likes to take advice from broke people. So you can go, there is such a thing as, going and buying every billboard, every radio, every TV, everything, every direct mail piece, and you're going to go broke because of the cash conversion cycle. You could be on every piece of marketing, but you will run out of money. Like Zillow recently ran out of money, right? So piece of advice is just stay in your lane, do what you do, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and build. It's a process. 16 going on 17 years, and I'm sure for my peers here, it's a process, So.
For you, real quick, what are the one or two biggest sources of your business right now?
So I would say having established a brand, we've established.
So like incoming calls from
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything, what else?
So via radio and TV
cool.
and things
Yep.
like that. So
Yep.
establishing a brand, I would say is probably number one, and I would say social media and Google is the next. But I would say it's all brand related.
Yep, love it.
But that's taken 16 years.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Yeah.
All right, so throwing in the towel, I mean, I've gone through a lot of crap in my career. Now, the one thing that I'm very great at is savoring the small little wins, like every little win. And I'm a little bit delusional with that. Like, literally, I could be completely failing and something small happens and I think I'm winning. I get excited, And that's why I can stick to it so long. Sometimes I start a strategy and like Andrey was talking about the cash conversion cycle. Another agent would quit at 6-7 months. I was like, man, no, I got 2 calls. Nobody has bought. I'm $10,000 in the hole, but this is going to work. I keep honing it in. So for me, because of that, and I built that muscle. I do believe we should be more positive in this world. I do believe we need to believe in ourselves. I believe any strategy works if you
can I
put
call
the
you out
work.
for just a second? Here's what I want to know. How the hell do you actually do that? So that sounds nice, but what are some of the specific things you do to keep your head in the right place?
Yeah, well, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so over 200 audiobooks in my career. I've listened to some of them many, many times. That was one of the things I learned at an event like this, and something so small changed my life. Because, I'm not a big reader, but I learned that listening to audio was easier. And I started churning through books like crazy. That keeps me positive, motivated. Every time I have a problem or a challenge, I buy 10 books. And I listen to all of them, and then I find the 1 or 2 that I need to listen to 3, 4, 5 times.
Because here's what I think is interesting. If people meet you now and you're like, oh, you must just wake up to rainbows, butterflies, and like whatever it is, right? Which maybe you do, I don't know. But like, for all of you, that was a muscle you built over time, right? That was not just a natural thing, right? You built it by, instead of listening to the news, you listened to audiobooks, right? Instead of going to the party, you got a good night's sleep and came here this morning, right? All those things over and over. So you built that muscle over time. I think that's really important for everyone to really ingrain, because it's easy to look at, a 10-year overnight success and not really know some of the things they've done along the way, right? So before I go to the next question, the one thing I just want to make sure that I point out that I think is so interesting is, for all of you, one of the biggest traps in the beginning was trying to do everything. And if I'm hearing you out correctly, and what really worked was figuring out the 1 or 2 you were going to go out and nail, whether it was database or marketing or whatever it was. One of the greatest things that I learned from my coach years ago, he said, everything works if you work it. Everything works, right? Direct mail works, right? Door knocking works, right? Open house, everything works if you work it. Find your 2, maybe 3 things and nail those, right? Most businesses have, 2 or 3 that are doing all the heavy lifting. So it all works. Pick your 2 or 3, go deep on those. Yes?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the 2 for me basically have been online lead generation. I love online lead generation because it's scalable. I can have as many leads as I want, and it's something that I have made into a science. And then obviously getting repeat and referrals from those clients, from all those sales over the years, that's my number 2.
Okay, so I'm going to invert 2 questions here. So the first thing is I want to know is, what's 1 or 2 key things you do each day? So quickly, just go down the line, we can start down there. 1 or 2 key things you do each day that make a difference. So you don't have to give me your whole daily schedule, but what's 1 or 2 key things you do each day that make the difference? Tara's living the dream. She doesn't even know. She's like, I walk the beach.
Switch the order.
And then that's it. No, but here's what's interesting. What I love this panel is Tara has no idea how much she inspires the hell out of me because you've chosen to have this beautiful luxury boutique lifestyle, and I freaking love that. It really is, right? And you're not doing 17 gazillion transactions because that doesn't line up with what you want, and it's freaking beautiful. You know what I mean? So what do you get to do every day?
Focus on my family. That's.
But I thought you were a realtor. Aren't you?
Sorry. No. Surprise. Really, truly, that's been the beauty of kind of the evolution of my life and my career, and I'm not done yet. But, you know, we're all sitting up here because we are go-getters. I mean, we started our careers, most of us, with a bang, and so many of you are still going, and I love it. And I would say I'm still going too, but I've focused more now on consistency, you know, versus growing and continuing to follow this, you know, never-ending growth path. What was the dang question?
Who doesn't even matter. All right, Bachman, what's the 1 or 2 things you do each day that are the most important?
I think even beyond like what's in my schedule, it's just having that schedule and then letting that dictate my life has really become a game changer for me. So yes, lead gen's in there. Yes, family time's in there. Yes, taking care of my body is in there. But letting my schedule itself dictate what I actually do every day and then sticking to it is what's really changed my life.
I bet I could look at your schedule and know what your goals were for the year.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, and it would reflect what's important to you, and that's pretty cool. It's awesome. All right.
Okay, so 2 things.
Two or 3 key things you do each day.
So I work out at 5 a.m. every morning. Woohoo! I also coach baseball. No, just joking.
I'm still stuck on the 5 a.m.
I have become very good at understanding baseball a lot lately. But no, I feel that working out every day in the morning, it clears your mind. It's 1 hour where you're not thinking of someone else. And that helps me a lot. I mean, not every day, but I try. And I pray a lot for my kids.
Okay. Good, I love it. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I do when because we're all human, right? Like we all go through highs and lows, right? So we're not gonna sit here and pretend like everything is perfect, right? So I would say when I'm at my highest, you know, gym early in the morning, what that does for me is it increases my capacity. So I know you want 2 things, but quite frankly, what I've realized is if I take care of my health, it takes care of mental, spiritual, it takes care of everything. It increases my capacity to take on so much more. I agree. You know, if it's not in your calendar, it's not going to get done. You know, so that's huge as well. It's got to be in your calendar, and whether that's, you know, picking up the kids in school, dropping them off, you know, soccer appointment, soccer practices, all that stuff. But the biggest thing is just increasing. How can you optimize and operate at a higher level? I think you have to figure out that one thing, not 2, that one thing that you do that can increase your capacity. For me, it's working out, working on my health. It works a lot up here.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's understanding what my priorities are every single day. So, you know, I start even from Sunday, making sure I understand what are the big 3 things that I got to work on during the week and cashing out every day. So it's not only going into the day thinking, okay, these are the 3 big things that I need to tackle. Because as Andrey said, like, we're not perfect. Yeah, sometimes I have my calendar on point and I'm crushing it, and sometimes I wake up and my whole calendar gets just jumbled up. But as long as I know what are those key priorities, and sometimes it's family, sometimes it's time for myself and going to the gym, sometimes it's I gotta grind on a project on one thing all day, or I gotta be on Zooms back to back to back to back to back because I gotta help people. So at the end of the day, did I spend the day making an impact on those things that actually matter, or was I busy being busy?
I love that. Well, one of the things I hear all you saying is you clearly identify what, in Hero Nation coaching, we talk about a hell yeah day. What are the 2 or 3 things that get those done? It was a hell yeah day. Am I going to get everything done? No, you guys probably all have to-do lists that look like you're starting a manifesto. But like, what are the 2 or 3 that if I get those done, hell yeah. I don't think I can stop you.
So, what I would say, one thing that has helped me out tremendously is I came up with something called a CEO calendar. And I've broken down into different departments all of the hundreds of things that we have to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. and I just break them down by departments. You know, so if you stack them all and it's a list of 100 things, that creates overwhelm. But if you break them down into 10 different departments, right, it's like 3 things here, 2 things here, then it's really attainable, really easy. And I've actually found myself being able to do a lot more by breaking it down.
Love it.
Somebody cut it off.
All right, so in the last year, last 2 years, did you all have to make some pivots and some adjustments? My guess would be yes, right? How many of you felt weird today and put on pants because it wasn't on Zoom? For me, that's a little odd. Usually I only have to dress from here up. So for you, what is, looking at this the next 12 months, what are you going to spend more money on? What are you going to spend less money on based on what you've learned?
So for us, we're going even deeper into content. So spending more time on our database, getting in front of more people, growing that database, and then it's also investing back into people. So my team is by far my biggest asset that I have. And so for me, investing more in my people is going to be a big deal. Awesome. Hiring more, making their jobs a little bit easier.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so big pivot, or what are you going to do different?
So, like I said, when we chose to not grow or add to our company and team, we had to choose what we were going to do instead. And so we chose consistency. So I think that's just still my goal, is consistently still trying to sell the same. So basically, since I made that decision in 2017, we have sold the same amount every year, pretty much consistently.
Awesome. I love that. Beautiful.
Okay. One
Either
thing we're doing different?
Yeah, how did you pivot, or what are you going to spend more money on or less money on the next 12 months?
Gosh, okay. Well, when COVID hit, one thing about our office is we're very social, and that was a big kind of change, big time to not get together as a group. And that has been, something that's been weighing heavy on me is how do we get the group back together? Some people are, even still not comfortable, being in big groups right now. So I think now that things are coming back to normal a little bit more, my plan is to focus more on getting our group together and getting some of that fun back into real estate.
Whew, I love it. Jody's teaching me to have fun. All right, celebrate. All right, what do you got?
I would say the biggest thing for us is, we've always, from 2005, when we first started real estate, we didn't start our real estate team, our company, with money. So it was always like rob Peter, to pay Paul, like, borrow, take it from a credit card to do this. And it was always these crazy risks. And forever, it's kind of been that way. You kind of just trust the process. As entrepreneurs, we're just kind of like ultra positive. My wife, who's up there, tells me all the time, like, you're too positive. I'm
all right, give me the shorter answer.
You. Short answer is go down, triple down, quadruple down on people growth now that we have a lot more resources to grow it with. So we got where we are without a lot of resources. Now we're ready to put a lot more fuel into the fire.
Love it. Awesome.
Yeah, so for me, one thing that I've had to learn in the last couple of years is better delegation. I'm kind of a jack of all trades kind of guy. Like, I used to be a programmer. I'm an analytical guy. I can do anything. And that's a problem because I literally just will get into the weeds and do certain things. So one thing that I've invested a lot in, like I was running my team doing 150 transactions with a one part-time employee. Just let that sink in. Now, I was doing a lot of the work as well. So now, we hire a sales manager, hire an integrator. I'm building my machine with people so that I can delegate a lot more and help those people grow and become bigger leaders. And, helping our agents become leaders and build their own teams and do bigger things for themselves and their families.
All right. So, sorry, this guy keeps sneaking up on me like a little ninja. Here, I got two more questions for you. So really quickly, I want you to ask, what's the one best thing you're doing to take care of your database? And then I got one more question before Aaron rips the mic out of my cold dead hand. What do you got? What's the one best thing you're doing to take care of your database?
Man, one thing that we did during the pandemic was we actually doubled down on what we were good at. And I know everybody here is hating on buyers. I want them all. Send them all to me because we got 3-4 times the amount of buyers for a lower cost. A lot of people stopped investing money. So I was growing my database. That's the one thing different that I was doing. When you guys were pulling off marketing, I was investing more into it.
Love it. Awesome.
In terms of database, we're looking to fine-tune, our database, and no matter who calls or what they want, that we're adding them to our database. I don't care if they're looking to buy a mobile home or whatever, adding them to our database, and obviously, drip on video, add them to HomeBot, all that stuff. Just database is where it's at. I wish I would have done that 17 years ago.
Love it. Love it.
So I have 700 people in my sphere, and I direct market and social market and call and text and email constantly. This is on. I live in College Park, and that's where I sell primarily. And so I have a goal, and during the pandemic, first 30 days, I think I did what everyone did, right? And then I was like, oh crap, right? Like, what is gonna happen? No one knows, but I know what I can do, and I can control getting out there. And I thank my dog a lot because she got me out walking everywhere, and I met so many neighbors, and all of a sudden things just started happening. And I found out about this person that was selling a house, and I knew this person wanted to buy a house, and I would say 50% of my transactions were off market.
Awesome.
And through that, I have become kind of the neighborhood specialist.
Boom.
And it was with zero money.
That's awesome. I know you take great care of your database. What's the best thing you do?
So I love doing small, concentrated efforts to show people that I care. We do a huge end-of-year client appreciation event. I'm going to give you more than one really quick. And then just small things, like the first thing that comes to mind was at the end, so when the pandemic started in 2020, obviously kids were sent home, moms and dads were thrust into this schooling from home environment, so including myself. At the end of the school year last year, I sent to anyone in my entire database that I knew had kids and had done that or gone through that, I sent this package, and one of the things that was in there was a Teacher of the Year certificate. And it was literally like, WTF did we all just have to do, but it was cute, and oh my gosh, it was, again, I'm very budget conscious, so that was like the cheapest thing that you could possibly do, send out a certificate to all your people, and oh my gosh, the overwhelming response by that was just amazing. So I love looking for little creative things that I can do that will just, brighten someone's life and day.
All right, what's the best thing you do for your database?
So this year, we dug really deep on being really consistent on putting out content that wasn't like, hey, do you want to know what interest rates are doing? Or do you want to know about my new listing? Or and here's my open house, right? It was like more local content that we thought that they would actually care about, and we had a really good response. So then now in 2022, it's digging out who's in our database of 12, 13,000 people so that we can market to them, so that we can get in relationship with them in a deeper way.
Love it. Awesome. All right, Aaron, what do you got? Hit us.
All right, real quick. How many of you guys have learned something so far from the panelists? Make some noise. We're still I got at least one more question for these panelists, so don't worry. But we're gonna go around the room and get a few quick takeaways from the room. So I wanna get at least 3-4 takeaways from the room. We'll throw these out. We'll give you guys these are badass speakers, by the way. They're super light. And we'll also give away, let's give away a couple tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk for when they pick up in January. So real quick, biggest takeaway, yeah, over there. What was yours? Stay consistent, you actually get results. Here, catch that.
Woo! Oh!
All right, what's another? Someone give us another one. Yep.
Say it really loud.
Focus on creating a relationship with your clients, not just selling them.
Focus on creating a relationship,
Amen.
not just selling. You want this or a ticket to the Winter Park Wine Walk. There you go. All right, next one's getting a ticket to the Winter Park Wine Walk. Who's got one?
Here?
Yeah, right here. Yeah, go for it.
Stay positive.
Stay positive. And right here, we'll give you one too.
Make sure to create a schedule and to have a top 3 priority for your day so you feel accomplished.
Schedule and stay positive. Carla, can you raise your hand? Carla, right over here, is who you need to talk to get your Winter Park Wine Walk ticket. So the two of you, make sure you find her. Raise your hand one more time, Carla. If you don't find her, you're not getting the ticket because there's nothing to throw you. Let's get one more. Who's on the side? How about from the up top? Oh, you want me to throw all the way over there?
Oh, geez.
Who's up top? All right, let's go for it. Go for it. What's your big takeaway? Hold that for a second. Don't worry about mistakes you make.
I love it. Don't hold on to them.
We're gonna try this.
Oh shoot.
We're gonna try this.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
wow.
it may or may not
wow.
work.
I'll take bets at the back of the room.
If she catches it though, I want everyone to jump on their feet and go crazy when you score a touchdown. Y'all cool with that?
It's 600 to 1.
You ready?
Oh! 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 Whoa! All right. Not worthy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Ooh.
Orlando just won the Super Bowl.
They did. They did. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That was a nice catch. Yarmis was like, I got this. All right, couple quick reminders. Guys, pull your phones out real quick and pull out your calendar. I want you to mark the third Thursday in January. We have not made the link live, but since you're here, you're going to get text blasts, you're going to get emailed. I promise you, how many of you guys ever been to one of our year kickoffs? Because we always bring the fire. If you guys ever been to a year kickoff, a Masterclass, make some noise. Woo! Woo! It'll have to do with kicking off the year, I promise you that. It's January 20th, right here. Make sure you get your tickets when we make it live. It'll probably be like live in the next week or so at MasterclassOrlando.com. You'll see something about it. Can we give a round of applause to all the panelists and to Wayne? Actually, he came all the way from Dallas. Let's give a round of applause to Wayne. Do you guys like Wayne moderating and doing the first 10 minutes? Make some noise.
Thank you, brother.
All right, so 2 quick things and then we'll stop. Best way to say thank you to Harry Buffalo, stick around for lunch. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask one more question, but how many of you guys, if I go like 10 minutes late and ask another question, how many of you guys would want that and would stick around and buy lunch so that the restaurant's not mad that I went late? Raise your hand if you would be cool with sticking around and buying lunch. Raise your hands really high. If enough of you raise your hand, I'm going to ask more questions. All right, only some of you. I'm just going to ask one question. Hopefully you guys will still stick around for lunch. So here's what I want to know. What type of reflection and planning do you do for the fourth quarter and for Q1? So what are you doing right now to make sure you're prepared for 2022, whether it's you, whether it's your team, those of you that run teams, like what are you doing right now to make sure that 2022 is a killer year, is your best year ever? And if you guys are in the room, you want to stop talking if you're not on the stage.
So for us, it's digging into what worked this year, what didn't work, and then remarginalize those profits and or monies elsewhere, and dig in for next year. Who do we need to hire? And that's pretty much it.
I watch a lot of Hallmark movies. Just kidding. I have something real. That's real too, but I would say when I talked about the small concentrated efforts to our database, we try to plan those things in advance. So choosing those few things, that special touches I'm going to do throughout the year ahead.
Very similar to what they mentioned. I plan on, for the month of December, to try to visit all of my clients from the year. And I did Popeyes. I know I'm a Brian Buffini kind of girl, but I did Halloween cookies, and I had like 50 boxes, and I went to each house and dropped off the 50 boxes, and I did it myself with no help, and now that everyone's working from home, that was a very long day. I was very, very tired, but man, I felt good. And it's just a reminder because people forget about you. Even if you're emailing them, texting them, calling them, they do. And they appreciate a little thing like Halloween cookies. It's crazy, but it works. Awesome. So my plan for December is to do that again in a different way. And I always try to help my agents and myself that when you start January 1, you should know where 12 or 15 deals are coming from.
Amen.
So every January, you should know I've got 15 deals that I can count on, and then fill in, the gaps from there. So working on those, where you get those 15 deals from, working on those people, whether it's personal referrals, a business source, insurance person, whatever it is, visit those people and get those deals down on paper so that you know where your business is going.
Boom. I love it. Good. By the way, what I do, our planner is going to come up and there's going to be a QR code to download the planner we've created over the last couple decades. That's the one I would use. So it'll come up in a second. So grab that one.
Download that one too. That's the magazine.
Yeah, that one too. I'll yip or something when mine pops up. So that's what I do. Yep.
So in our case, we don't do a company retreat. We do what's called a company advance every year. I think the only year we missed was last year because of COVID. So in that, we do that with our entire team. It consists of doing vision boards. It consists of breaking down the business plan that we did this year, reanalyzing it, what worked, what didn't work. Were there any donuts throughout the year for some of our agents? What worked, what didn't? That type of thing, and just kind of reallocating resources, see who we also need to hire. That's big for us as well right now. Literally breaking down the business, month by month. I think it's very, very, very important.
That's the one.
There's a
Get
QR
it.
code. Go ahead and grab it. Grab it. Hey, real quick before you say that, make sure you grab this QR code while you can. Oh, and now you can't. You missed it. Oh, no, it changed on some of the screens, but not all of them. But one other thing I want to point out before Carlos helps bring us home. If you guys, actually, we got enough time to ask one more question after this, so Wayne, get your question ready, because I'm going to let you do it.
Oh.
Guys, if you haven't already, we give out tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk to at least 3 people that use the hashtag Masterclass Orlando and share a picture of this on any social media platform. It's spelled just like it sounds, Masterclass Orlando. If you don't spell it right, we won't find you, so just throwing that out there. I see a lot of y'all misspelling it, and we can't let you win if you can't spell Masterclass Orlando. So, share your pictures of this event, share your videos, share whatever, hashtag Masterclass Orlando. Put in your stories, tag Orlando Real Producers Mag on Instagram. We'll reshare your stuff. Like, share it everywhere you possibly can, and we'll keep giving you tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk. Super easy way to win from your own seat without doing anything. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Are you ready, Carlos?
Absolutely. All right,
Let's hear yours.
so you guys want to hear this? All right. So basically what you want to do and what we do is, and from the beginning when I started, when it was just me and my wife, go to a place that inspires you, first of all, somewhere outside of the market or outside the area. I went to Bella Colina one year and had lunch there. If you guys know Bella Colina, very inspiring. And you want to analyze your business at a high level. So, first you got to celebrate. What were the wins? Then you got to go over your lessons learned. What did you do that you wanted to do, and what didn't you do that you wanted to do? What are your critical issues right now? Like, what are some of those critical issues that are bugging you? What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats, right? Analyze all that, put it down. Analyze who you are as a brand, your products, your services, how you are adding value to people's lives. So you can take all of that and then pick 4 things that are going to make the next year the best year of your business. And by the way, you can do this also personal. I do it for my birthday every year in August, personally. The same thing, what are the 4 things that are gonna make the next year the best year of my life? And going back to the business, the cool thing is sometimes little things come up that you are winning in and you're like, man, I wanna do more of that. Like for us, we wanted to continue to enhance our winning culture. We wanted to continue to make people bigger and more successful than ever before, and adding a number to that. Because part of my business is an organization that expands all over the country and even other countries. Our goal was, we want 1,000 agents who are multi-million-dollar producers in our organization who are winning at a high level. Some of those agents, like Luis German that's here, is doing 15 to 20 million this year. But, at the end of the day, even from all that process, it could be just something super simple like that. Like, let me enhance my winning culture and take that bigger.
Love it. I'm going to ask one more question before Wayne's question, because this can be super easy. I just literally want, it's probably a 1, maybe it's a 2-word answer. We want to know what CRM you use. Let's just go down the line. Carlos, what CRM do you use?
Market Maker.
Market Maker. Andre?
Brokerman.
Broker what?
Brokerman and Boomtown.
Spell that. Broker.
Broker, M-I-N-T.
Just making sure everyone heard that.
Constant contact.
Constant contact.
Bad.
Tara?
Excel.
Excel. Love it. That's awesome. Ken? What?
Brevity.
Brevity. Love it.
All right, here's my question. I want to know what each of you are most proud of in the last year or two. So what are you most proud of as an individual in the last year? Okay, so start down there. There you go.
As an individual personally, or as a
you
team?
personally, what are you most proud of?
Yeah, for me, I'm proud of the stories that I've been able to be part of. Again, with that focus of building a winning culture, helping more people win bigger, it's just amazing that I get to be a piece of that, impact so many lives. That's why I do what I do. I want to be the best that I can be for my people. And everywhere I go, seeing people like, man, I was at EXPCon.
So are you proud you made the decision to go all in? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Well, I'm proud that I put myself in a larger scale, in a larger opportunity where I can impact more people, and that is heading in the right direction.
Love it.
Good.
I think for us, my goal as a person, as a business owner, is to positively impact people's lives. So for me, it's, one thing I'm very proud of is the fact that every agent on our team either currently owns a house or is in the process of owning a home. I think, you know, a lot of real estate agents, you know, we sell real estate to our clients, but some of us don't own real estate. And owning your first home is the biggest thing that you could do to set your family up for success and begin that wealth journey, if you will. So I'm very proud of that and everything that my agents are doing.
Love it.
So I guess what I'm most proud of, it's a tough question, is my company. We rebranded right before COVID hit, and that really sucked because we didn't get to do all the marketing and all the things that we really wanted to do. And it was challenging, but I'm very proud of where we are right now. We're certainly not the biggest, but I think we have the best.
Love it, love it.
In 2017, when I decided not to hire and not to grow a team or a brokerage, everybody kind of told me I was crazy, or at least most people did. No one ever really validated that choice and made me feel okay, I guess, that I was saying, no, I'm just gonna hang back here and sell, because that's what I love to do. So what I'm most proud of this year is that I have really been speaking out. I've spoken around the country a little bit, basically just holding space. And what I've learned is that there are more people than just me that maybe feel that, maybe I'm not meant to be a manager of people. Maybe I don't want to build a big team or have a big brokerage. I really love real estate and I love to sell. So I'm proud of holding space for those people and speaking out about it and giving you permission to do that.
There you go.
I would say and you're talking just the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say over the past year, it was really my team and I, we were looked up, COVID's in the midst, and I'm like, there's going to be opportunity here. I don't know what the opportunity is going to be, but if we stay really strong mindset-wise, we're going to win.
Amen.
And so everybody on the team, these are amazing people that I get to work with and I have the privilege of working with, but they were super strong mindset-wise, and because of that, we doubled our business, which is awesome.
Ooh, awesome. I love it. All right, I'm very proud to call you guys my family by choice. Love you very much. Thank you for getting together and do this. It's pretty amazing. Would you guys stand up and would you give them a huge round?
Woo! Let's give a huge round of applause. Hold on, let me sneak in here.
We got.
And y'all, real quick, I have one more thing to tell you guys about that some of you are going to be pretty interested in. All right, so here's the deal. We have a party coming up on December 1st. And usually we only invite the top 500 agents. If you're in the top 500, you probably already know it. You're in our private Facebook group, you're getting our emails, you're probably getting our texts, but 30% of you aren't getting our text apparently, but you're in the group. Those of you that want to be in that group probably know you're not quite in it yet. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you guys a chance to register for our party if you want to, but everyone's got to remember one thing or you might get your ticket canceled. So hear me out. I'm going to give you guys a number to text the word party to. It's going to auto-respond with a link to register. Here's the deal, though. If you aren't sure if you're in the top 500, buy a Tier 3 ticket. Everyone follow me? Buy a Tier 3 ticket or above. What that means is that the top 500, I'm giving you guys a head start. You guys probably shouldn't be able to log in yet. The top 500 is still buying Tier 2. Does that make sense? Everyone follow me? So if you want to come, just buy a Tier 3 ticket. That means that you're helping support Base Camp Children's Cancer Foundation and covering your ticket. If you are a vendor, disregard this because you know whether or not you can sign up because there's only 2 per company. So don't listen if you're a vendor. But if you're an agent, you want to come, here you go. You ready? You're going to text the word party to this number. Everybody ready? The phone number is 407-505-5194. 407-505-5194. Text the word party. It'll send you back a link. But again, if you aren't sure if you're on the list, please buy a Tier 3 ticket so our sponsors aren't paying a ton for people that aren't actually in the group because they'll kill me if I do that because I made this public. But I wanted to be able to say, everybody come and have fun. We've got a band. It's at Tin Roof. It's going to be a ton of fun. And you're going to get a whole bunch of food and drinks, so it'll be worth it. Everybody, let's give one more giant round of applause for our panelists and our guest speakers. And all of today's sponsors, thank you guys for coming all year, and we'll see you guys back here January 20th. Hopefully, you guys will order some food, and if you have to go, just leave a tip on the bar. I promise you, if everyone leave a few dollars, it'd be amazing. Probably make everyone's Christmas awesome. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you.